to bring in one of President Trump's attorneys. Jesse Binnall joins us now. Sir, thank you so much for coming on. What can you tell us at this point?
Well, first of all, of course, I do not represent President Trump in this case. I represent him in other cases. But what I can tell you is that this is a very sad day. This is a very unfortunate day for America, where the Justice Department, again, through a prosecutor that just has a horrible record of leading political prosecutions, has taken the biggest political prosecution in our country's history by indicting President Trump today. And I'll tell you a story because we're seeing a little bit about some of the prosecutorial misconduct that's already happened, possibly in this case. I was involved in a case where Jack Smith's public integrity section was involved in prosecutorial misconduct in front of the grand jury and had a case dismissed because of it. This is, quite honestly, one of the worst prosecutors in Washington, D.C. He has a politically motivated staff, and they're really just tearing America apart right now.
I've heard the stories about Jack Smith. I've heard the motivation. It doesn't surprise me at all that this is the guy that's going after former President Trump. I know how despicable the DOJ is and what they're capable of doing. I want to bring up this. We spoke about it earlier in the show. This man named Jay Bratt, who's one of the top prosecutors for Jack Smith. The Guardian reporting that he allegedly tried to almost effectively, I would say, bribe one of the witnesses' attorneys, the attorney for a valet at Mar-a-Lago that's given some testimony that's been damaging to Trump. He said this guy, Jay Bratt, that works for Jack Smith, told the attorney for this valet, he said, "I don't think you're a Trump guy. I think you should do the right thing." I'm paraphrasing here. And then he brought up the fact that the attorney that he was talking to had applied to be a Superior Court judge in Washington, D.C., basically saying, I come out of D.C., I know a lot of people in D.C., you know what, if you do the right thing here, we'll see what we can do about getting you your judgeship, whatever they call it, in Washington. That is what's being reported from The Guardian. Does that line up with what you've heard, what you've seen?
Absolutely. I think that does line up with what we know about this unfortunately, this office and a lot of the prosecutors that are in this case. And it's very, very unfortunate that we can't find a way to de-weaponize the criminal justice system in this country, that they decide that since they can't beat President Trump at the ballot box, they know how strong a candidate is, that they have to beat him in the courtroom. And I'm confident that that's not going to happen, that Donald Trump is a fighter. He's always been a fighter. He's always stood up for the American people, and this is why they always go after him, regardless of the fact that Joe Biden had, so many classified documents next to his Corvette in his garage in Delaware.
Yeah.
They indict Donald Trump.
Well, and despite the fact, this is what really blows me away. I don't care that Biden had classified documents. Fine. We're going to act like having classified documents isn't a crime. Fine. Let's act like that. He had classified documents that he took out when he was vice president that were regarding the nation of Ukraine. And now you have two credible whistleblowers, one of whom has just been revealed by the FBI to the Oversight Committee that say that, this guy says, I paid Joe Biden and his family $10 million. I have the receipts to prove it. We moved this through so many different accounts. It's going to take you years to figure it out because that's the extent of the money laundering that one would expect if you're going to do something that is treasonously corrupt. And with that, you have documents from Ukraine that you've taken out when you couldn't declassify them. And then you're allegedly money laundering and influence peddling in Ukraine. The fact that that is not a story that's on the front of every paper and the top of every show in this country, and the fact that we're talking about this should tell people everything that they need to know about the state of their country.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. And it's because they think, the Department of Justice and the FBI, they think that Joe Biden is above the law. And they think that Donald Trump and the people that support Donald Trump are below the law. They think that he's not entitled to the protections of our Constitution. They're wrong. And in the end, Donald Trump is going to be victorious like he has every time before.
I hope you're right. I do. Jesse Binnall, thank you so much for taking the time. We appreciate it. One of
Thanks for having
President
me.
Trump's attorneys, former President Trump's attorneys.